everybody at the same time. Hello Facebook, hello YouTube, very nice to have you with me. Welcome to my studios. I'm back here for a Wellbeing Wednesday, and a special one today because I'm going to be joined by two separate guests, and we've just got lots of lovely fun things to share with you, and hopefully some words of wisdom and just some lovely chat. I've got Amy who's manning Facebook. Thank you very much, Amy. Amy is my digital editor, so she's responsible for a lot of the content that we have on lizearlewellbeing.com. So if you need to know anything more about anything that I chat about, chances are you'll find it there. Obviously we can link as well on Facebook and on Instagram. Just head to my bio, click the little Linktree link, and all the links will pop up. So first off, I had a great chat with Amanda Harrington, who is a body contouring artist. She worked in fine art, then she worked in films, sculpting bodies using contouring and tanning and body paint and all of that before creating her truly exceptional range of self-tanning products that give us the most amazing glow. And she bases it on lots of different skin types as well, so it's not just one orangey shade. You can get lots of different shades and just get a bit of a glow. And as we move into colder weather, I don't know where it is where you are and what the weather's like where you are, but it's a bit cold and grey here, so it's nice to get a bit of glow. So let me see whether Amanda is in the house. I'm sorry Facebook, obviously you won't see Amanda, but you will hopefully hear her. So yes, she is here, and I'm going to add her onto my Instagram live. It says I'm waiting for Amanda Harrington. Don't forget there is a Liz Loves just until Friday midnight. Okay. Hi, how are you?
I'm well, I'm in the light.
You are in the light. I'm just going to turn you up, my love. So let me just see if I can turn.
Nice to see you.
Very nice to see your beautiful face. And you extraordinarily look incredible because you have a 3-month-old baby.
I do. He wakes me up every 2 hours. So I can only put this down to tan. I genuinely can. That's all I can do.
Well, for those of you on Facebook, Amanda looks radiant. I mean, you look supermodel gorgeous. So you're obviously doing.
To you with your cheekbones on Monday.
My cheekbones. Okay, so we'll do a quick little recap if anybody didn't see it on Monday, because these are just great products, and this is the one that I'm using. It's called Natural Honey, which I think is the middle one. And it's not at all scary. I haven't done my face today. I've just prepped it, so I've just got a bit of moisturiser on. And what you do is you get this with your lovely sculpting brush, okay? And yep, you're holding it like this, and we put a bit on here. Yeah.
We do. I've got rose, so everyone, I've got the slightly lighter colour.
Okay.
And you just put a little bit on. I like to do the tip of the brush.
The tip of the brush right here. Okay.
And you just.
I'm doing this without a mirror, okay? So
yes, me. We'll just use the cameras, and you blend it through. What I'm after is the no makeup look.
Absolutely.
So it's all over colour glow, and then you can dress up the makeup with the eyes. But it's a semi-permanent bronzer.
You know, what was really nice for me, obviously we did this live on Monday, and then on Tuesday morning I woke up and I was kind of in the bathroom brushing my teeth, looked at myself in the mirror, and I thought, wow, I look quite glowy, and I have cheekbones up here because this is where you told me to put it. And, you know, that's without any makeup on. And there was a lovely comment, actually, I think it was on my Instagram, from somebody, I think she may be a nurse, saying that for somebody who has to spend all day wearing a mask and all that protective equipment, you know, not really getting on very well with face makeup, with foundation, all of that, because, you know, everything is just so kind of hot and sticky and doesn't feel great. This is a great way to get a little bit of a glow and some kind of makeup, as you say, no makeup.
Well, funny, we had a lot of nurses actually buying it and commenting and actually saying that exact thing. It's just, you know, because of all the PPE, and we're like, no, let's just contour above the mask.
Just tap up here. Yeah, this is where we.
It does give you the lift, but also the temples, as I said, Liz.
The temples. So okay, just up here, just to lift, and it did just lift my spirits a little bit. Now, something that we're going to do today, very quickly, because I know we haven't got very much time, and I'm about to disrobe. Okay. I know this is another first. actually taking my clothes off live, but don't fret because I do have a top on underneath. I've got one of my Asquith workout little camis on, but I'm doing this for a reason, because you talked on Monday about kind of shaping here, and this is something that you do for the movie stars and the A-listers, whether they're filming a movie or if they're on the red carpet, getting a bit of definition. So I'd love you to talk me through this, because I've never done this before. So
have you gloves there, Liz?
I have got gloves. Yes, I have got gloves in. Let me just open up my lovely box of goodies. So your products, they do actually come with gloves, don't they?
They do. So all the face mists and all the body mousses, they come with gloves. Gloves,
Great.
For me, replace a mitt.
Okay.
They are your blending tool. These are like tattoo gloves, and I've used them forever. And they are blendable with my products, because they're sort of, the mousse is like a souffle. It's like a hyaluronic aloe vera based souffle, so it's not scary. It hasn't got alcohol in it or anything.
I'm not sure what I've done with my gloves. This is going to be tricky.
Have you got a big body brush there?
I have got a big body brush.
This is so exciting.
I know, it's very exciting, isn't it? Okay, so let me get, where am I? Oh, hang on, that's a face buffer. So many lovely things that you have. Here is my big body brush. I love these brushes. They are really something else. Look at that.
Brilliant.
Okay,
Well
so
done.
that's a big body brush. But I guess you could use the smaller face one, could you?
Oh gosh, I mean, listen, if you're, I would derobe. I'm just filming some Christmas bits at work, but if I took my top off, I'm sort of white here, but I'm tanned here, and I literally use my face buffer and blend it through onto the décolletage. So if we just do a little bit of body, what we do is, I think we discussed it on Monday, sharpen up the shoulder.
Sharpen up the shoulder. Okay, so I can use the same one, can I? I can just use the same.
Absolutely.
And just spray that on here.
Or a body mousse, up to you.
Or a body mousse, okay, whichever. Okay, so I've got that on my brush. What am I going to do with this?
Probably take a little bit more onto that, Liz.
Okay, I'm a bit nervous. Right.
Don't be nervous.
Don't
worry.
be nervous, she
These
says.
brushes,
Okay.
they blend everything in, and then just buff it through and just blend it all the way through. Yeah, there you go.
Oh my goodness,
all
look.
the way. That's it. And then all the way down, you can play with that. That's it. And it instantly gives you a sharper looking shoulder.
Doesn't it just? It's really emphasising. I was doing some little weights this morning. I was doing my little bicep curls with Michael.
Incredible arms. Look at you.
I have, honestly, these arms, I used to have the flabbiest upper arms, and it's only since being with Michael Gary and just doing a tiny bit, not much, just a tiny bit.
Amazing.
And you also showed me how to do this. This is what you talked about on Monday, yeah?
So it's shading the side of the neck and down into the shoulder, and it gives you a swan neck. It elongates the line, and we call it the top line. It's like, that ballerina line.
Totally want the ballerina line.
And it just shades either side. I'll do it on my neck. I'm so sorry. I'm not I still haven't got I've got baby weight on. So
baby weight, honestly, don't even go there.
Well,
I've still got lockdown pounds. I've got these lockdown pounds that are just following me around, and they are just not budging.
And then again on the other shoulder, just buff it through in a circular motion. It's like when the Italians are out in Capri and they have these fabulous shoulders out, and it sharpens you up.
It does sharpen you up.
It does, doesn't it?
And pop a little bit here, maybe?
Just keep blending it through under the collarbone. So go under here.
Under here?
Under there.
Under here, like here?
Yeah, and then push your collarbones through.
Oh.
That's it. And then blend down. Yeah. Keep buffing.
Nice.
Circular.
Keep buffing. I love I think that it's the brush, isn't it, that makes it pretty foolproof, because you don't get any streaking or anything.
It's completely streak-free.
How's this looking? Is this looking good?
Stunning.
I feel like I should be heading off to Capri. Alas, not.
Oh, you look wonderful. And it evens out the skin,
and even, on the backs of my hands, because my hands are looking a bit kind of like grey and there. It just makes you feel a bit better. And I'm just going to take my smaller brush just before we finish, because this is also something I normally do this with a bronzing, like a powder, But obviously this is kind of like, you know, semi-permanent, just under here, just to sharpen up my chin.
Sharpen up the chin and the jawline,
and
all the way around here. But with the cheekbones, everyone, to just recap on the cheekbone, because in case you missed it, it's tap, tap, sweep, like that.
Okay, I'm going to do some more. I'm going to have cheekbones that you can sharpen pencils on shortly. What is it? So it's up here.
Exactly, we discussed that the ear line.
Tap, tap, sweep. Yeah, so it's in line with the top of the ear, and then sweep it up. In line with the top of the ear, because everyone goes too low, so it's tap, tap, sweep there.
Oh. Look, it gives you a...
It's like magic. It's just a bit of magic. Thank you.
It's fun, isn't it?
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and I think it's easy and simple and effective, which is why I like it. Thank you. And just to say to everybody that on Amanda's products, just until midnight Friday, use your Liz Loves and you get 25% off, which I think is probably the biggest discount we've ever had. So thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you for trusting it and trying it.
Oh, totally. No, I genuinely love it. You know, I have to love things for them to be a Liz Loves, and this is an absolute new fave. So thank you. And lots of love to you. And
lots of love. Enjoy the rest of the live. Have
big
fun.
Smooch to your baby too. Thank you. Bye. Bye. Oh, wasn't that so much fun? Honestly, I do feel that I should be, you know, jetting off to some exotic cruise now, but never mind. We can dream, can't we? And we can dream of good things and think happy thoughts, because I'm going to be joined. It is a bit chilly in my studio, so I am actually going to put my shirt back on. And this was the other thing that Amanda said, is that you don't have to kind of hang around, because she used to work on movie sets and people would, you know, want to get dressed and, you know, just need to be changed really quickly. So you can get dressed straight away. And she says there will be no issues, so let's hope that is true. Okay, so I am now really delighted to be joined by a young British entrepreneur who's created this great brand called House of Lila, and it's all about helping us to feel better, to just get in the mood, to help us uplift our emotions while also supporting others in the arts at the same time. So I think this is going to be a really interesting chat. So hopefully, Chantal, you are going to request to go live with me. You need to be on your phone to do that, because it doesn't work on an iPad or actually maybe it works on an iPad, but I know it doesn't work on a laptop. Definitely. Lovely comments coming in on Instagram. Thank you very much for that. I know that they had a quick stock out issue, in fact, of the one that I was using, but they have managed to get it back in stock really quickly, literally overnight. Few questions. I'm using the face mist, that's what I used, and I use natural honey, but there's a whole selection on the website about how to choose which shade is right for you. So anyway, I hope that went down well, because as I say, I'm doing it without a mirror, so shows you how kind of foolproof it is, hopefully. Right, let me see whether I don't yet have a request from House of Lila, so hopefully where are we? It's always the issue, isn't it, with going live? Nope, I haven't got a request just yet. Not to worry, because I have got questions here that have come in meantime. So Amy, who is manning Facebook for me, connects to me on my little document here, and she can ping through questions. So if there are questions that have come through, then she will pop them on here, and I'll try and get through as many as I can. Question here. Somebody's obviously watching my Instagram stories first thing, saying, what is the name of the vitamin you use in your coffee? Well, actually, it's not a vitamin. It is something called creatine, and this is something that we wrote about on the Earle Wellbeing website following a live that I did with a really lovely personal trainer called Zana Morris, who many of you may have known. I've talked about her before. She's been featured in the magazine before. She is all about high intensity exercise, so short amounts of really pushing yourself, getting lots and lots of bang for your buck, if you like, because you're literally working out for 10 or 12 minutes. But it's all about getting stronger muscles, being stronger, fitter, leaner. And as part of that, because she's also a qualified nutritionist and she knows a lot about nutrition and as well as fitness training, She has this range called Strong Nutrients, which I really like. And she got me into this thing called creatine, which studies show can help to maintain and build muscle mass. So that's protecting our muscles while we work out. Even if you're just going for a walk or doing just a little bit of gentle exercise, you don't have to be doing kind of like bodybuilding. And I think in the past, creatine had a bit of a bad rap because it was linked with bodybuilders and really kind of bulking up and getting really muscly. And when I started to research it, I was really interested in the studies showing how it can help protect and preserve muscle mass as we age. And scarily, we lose our muscle mass. We lose about 0.5 pound of muscle every year from the age of 30. So it's really important to be doing our strength training exercises, really working our body, making sure that we've got plenty of protein in our diet so that we are looking after our muscles. And muscles are not only about keeping us strong and fit, but they're also about keeping our metabolism really high and working well, because the more muscle we have, the faster we burn fat. So it's really good for helping to kind of keep the body in good shape. Anyway, that was a long preamble just to say that what you saw me putting in my coffee this morning, because I did just a quick little demo when I got up, was a teaspoonful of the creatine powder from Strong Nutrients. You just stir it in, doesn't taste of anything, so it doesn't alter the flavour of the coffee. I was using my favourite New Ground coffee, which we also have a Liz Loves discount with. They're the guys who help work with ex-offenders to rehabilitate them by roasting coffee and training them how to blend it. So lots of lovely social impact stories going on there, as well as having a good bit of fitness. And we also, of course, have a Liz Loves code on Strong Nutrients. You will find that all, of course, on Instagram, on my Linktree, and on Facebook. I can see already that Amy has been popping some links on. But if you're watching this later on catch up, you can't find the links, don't panic. Just go to lizearlewellbeing.com, click on Liz Loves, and everything that I talk about will pop up. Now, let me go back to my Instagram to see my requests. Yes, I have House of Lila, and I've just accepted her request. Let's see if Chantal is there, because I'm really looking forward to chatting. Hello, lovely.
Hello, hi.
Hi, very nice to have you with me. Welcome to my Wellbeing Studios on this Wednesday. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me today.
It's such a pleasure, sweetheart. Now tell us, where are you?
I'm home, and yes, I'm literally being home for months now.
Yeah, is that in London?
Yes, in London. I'm South London based. I live in South Norwood.
Okay, so yeah, not a million miles from me then. Now tell me about House of Lila, because it's so pretty. Just to let people know before we get started, you are pairing these really interesting teas, and they are so delicious. I'd love to talk about them, with gorgeous scented candles. So it's all about kind of creating this wonderful mood, isn't it? Which is so kind of uplifting. And let's talk a little bit about your journey, because you're all about kind of promoting mindful living. What's your background?
So basically my background is marketing. So I've worked in beauty, I would say almost all my life. So I'm from France, from Paris, and I moved to London about 7 years ago now. And all my career has been done in beauty, but I wanted to do my own thing at some point, and I've always known that. So in 2016, back to 2016, I started thinking about my own brand and my own business. Yeah. But the thing is that the same year, my mom passed away in 2016.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And I think it completely changed my relationship to time and to people in general. Yeah. And I think when these kind of things happen, you start questioning yourself and start questioning your purpose, basically.
Yeah.
So it was really important for me, thinking about my brand, to do something that would really embody my passions and my values. Yeah. And I've always had, I would say, philanthropy in the back of my head, but I've never really known how to do this. And I think that using House of Lila as a platform as well to do good was the idea.
So I am now drinking one of your teas, and it is absolutely delicious. And I am not big on kind of herby teas. I know I should be, because I work in wellbeing, but I love a nice cup of coffee and I like really delicious tea. But I have to say, this one I'm drinking, it's called Loving Kindness, which is just a lovely name. and it's cocoa and orange rooibos.
Yes,
and
that's a rooibos tea. Yeah.
It's so delicious, and it's got vanilla in here and orange, and we've got all kinds of, just delicious aromas, and it's really warming actually too, for a really grey, cold day.
Oh, I'm glad you like it.
I absolutely love it.
Nice one.
And you've got such interesting blends. I mean, this one here, Enchanted Carousel, Cotton Candy and Strawberry Black Tea. Yeah. There's another one here. How many blends do you have altogether?
So we have 6 blends in the range. So we have 3 categories. The brand is split in 3 categories. 1, mindfulness, 2, freedom, and 3, curiosity. Nice. And those 3 steps are the steps that I call the steps to unleash creativity. And in each category, you have 1 candle that can be paired with 2 teas.
Great. So I've got this really lovely candle burning here. The smell is absolutely great. And I'm not sure which one this is, actually. I think I put the box up here.
So it's the blue one?
Yeah, the blue one.
I think it's tomato leaf. Yeah.
So which one is this?
Tomato leaf. So this one is part of the curiosity category.
Nice.
And it's all about basically, I would say, leaving your fears behind. All the scents and the aromas are evocative of escapism, travel.
I need that. Let's leave our fears behind. Wow.
Yeah.
So the idea is that you light your candle, you let that lovely scent kind of pervade the room, you put the kettle on, you make your delicious pot of tea, and you just sit and take a moment for yourself. What a lovely present for somebody. And how unusual. I don't know anybody else who's doing this kind of pairing, where you're really bringing the senses together for what you smell, what you taste, because we know taste and smell is so closely linked, isn't it?
Completely.
And these are very interesting.
I'm fascinated about.
So who makes these? These are really gorgeous. They come with a little ceramic lid, actually. You can pop on the top.
Those pots are made of concrete. So I buy them and I pen them myself as well. So that's part as well of this creativity unleash that I wanted to live as well. So I'm starting my journey as an entrepreneur, but as well, I wanted to express myself creatively. So painting the vessels as well, I think it's part of my story.
It has a really lovely feel to it. It feels really kind of solid and substantial, and there's just something, you can really feel the heart. And I think what really struck me, because obviously I get sent a lot of things to try and to investigate all the time, but what really resonated was the fact that you are doing so much, you're putting so much back in terms of giving opportunities to others. So you describe yourself as a bit of an activist. So tell us about who you support, because you actually donate 10% of everything anyway, don't you, to these projects?
Yeah, exactly. So as I said before, it was really important for me to develop a brand that would embody my values. And we donate 10% of our profits to Arts Emergency. So that's a lovely charity. They have been doing an amazing work. So basically what they do is that they help underprivileged kids to have access to cultural and artistic industries. And that's something which is really close to my heart because I've always wanted to work with kids, and they have this mentoring program that I'm part of. Brilliant. So I'm a mentor of a young person in London. So they have this nationwide mentoring program. Nice. So you can support them as a mentor yourself, but you can as well donate. And I think it's amazing.
And that's Arts Emergency.
Exactly.
So if people want to look that up, they can. And does it operate nationwide?
Exactly, nationwide. And I think at the minute they are recruiting new mentors for next year.
Recruiting new mentors. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So anybody who is interested in the arts, or would like to get alongside a young person to just help develop their own creativity.
Exactly, and I think what is amazing is that the UK is. In terms of culture and art, UK is a leading country, and this industry generates billions of pounds of revenue every year. But unfortunately, not everyone has access to culture and art, and can benefit from what culture has to offer. And many young people don't have access to that. And I think art should be enriching to all. And that's the reason why I created House of Lila, basically. That
is so great. What a great foundation to think, even as you're coming up with the concept of something, about how you can give back as part of that. And I think, the arts, particularly the creative industries, have just been so badly affected by the pandemic, and all the music closing, the theatres, the art studios, the plays, even everything that's being recorded, all the films that are being made. I mean, it's just the actors who I know. It's devastating, absolutely devastating.
Yeah, that's really terrible, and I really hope that we can go through this crisis, because yes, I think that all of us, we have so much to learn and to benefit through arts, and especially young people.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to go to a very small little kind of opera gathering, and there were just two performers, standing at opposite ends of the stage. But just to be in a room or a venue where there was something live going on, it was just, there's nothing like it, is there? If you actually see performers doing something live.
Yeah.
And it's lovely that we all connect on, Zoom or, FaceTime or whatever it is. But actually to have that opportunity. And of course the performers were saying that, what they miss also is the sense of the audience. There's nobody, there's no applause, you're not seeing anybody enjoying the experience. And so, you've obviously got all these kind of online virtual orchestras and things, which is great, but it's a really hard thing, and for young people wanting to get into that too.
Yeah,
this has just been.
I think it's
so never a better time to think about mentoring if you are able to offer something. Even if, and presumably you can connect online with your mentee, so you don't have to meet face to face.
I think this year has been really tough because of the pandemic, because I had so many plans in mind, so many things I wanted to do with my mentee, but because of the lockdown, everything fell apart. But we stayed connected through technologies. But definitely, yes, I think that there's nothing better than art to create bonds between people.
Yeah, it's universal, and it's ageless, and it's timeless, and there is something, we lose it at our peril, so it's lovely to come and celebrate. Before we go, Chantal, I'm just being asked here, I know that you've got an online website, and you've very kindly given us the Liz Loves discount. Thank you for that. But where are you selling? Pleasure. So where were you selling before the pandemic and before lockdown? Were you in retail as well?
So I literally launched the brand 2 weeks before the lockdown during an event called the Mindful Living Show. I don't know if you know it.
Yeah, I do know the Mindful Living Show.
Yeah, that's amazing. So I had my little stand at this event, and 2 weeks later we had the lockdown. But my initial plan was to be face-to-face, to meet people face-to-face on this kind of events or on craft markets. Yeah. So with the pandemic, everything fell apart. So I had to develop my website in the rush during the lockdown.
Well, I hope it will boom. Give us the website address so people can go and look you up.
Yes, so it's houseoflila.co.uk, and we are also available. Our gift sets are available on Etsy. We have an Etsy shop.
Oh, Etsy, great! I love Etsy.
Yeah. And in a few days we will be not on the high street as well, so that's amazing.
Great, just in time for Christmas.
Exactly.
Good. Well, you're also, a little sneaky peek here, I think you're also featuring in our Christmas edition of the magazine, so it's lovely.
Amazing. I hope that's exciting.
I hope you get lots and lots of visits and everybody enjoys your beautiful things, and I'm wishing you huge amounts of luck. Thank you for being with us, Chantal.
Thank you for having me. That was a pleasure.
Take care, sweetie. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. That's so great. Isn't that so great? I think as somebody who's walked that path of brand founding, entrepreneurship, it's really tough. And I just love having the platforms here that can shine lights on people, especially people who put something back. They're not just about taking. It's not about greed. It's not about, setting it up for the money. It's about doing something that other people will benefit from, that will enjoy, that has a real heart, that has a purpose, and even gives back to others along the way. So yes, we do have the Liz Loves, all in capitals, Liz Loves. Go to House of Lila. Sorry, I pronounced it Lila. House of Lila. This is it, Lilah. And these are the teas. Absolutely delicious, and I'm speaking as somebody who doesn't normally go in for sort of smelly teas, but the one that I'm particularly enjoying is Loving Kindness, that I'm burning with my candle, and I have to say my mood is uplifted. I feel improved. I am glowing. I am calm. That's what it's all about, isn't it, on a Wellbeing Wednesday? I have to say a special hi to my great friend Caroline. So Caroline is the amazing caterer who is behind a lovely local deli to me called Compton McRae. And Caroline, I know that you often have me on in your kitchen because you have just been working flat out 24/7, just cooking and baking and doing everything for the deli. And I bumped into you the other day, and as you were running into the deli, and you were saying, I see nobody, I have no friends, I have no time for anything, the only person I see in my life is you. And I have you sitting next to my kitchen worktop, and I cook, especially at lunchtimes. So hi, sending you a big kiss from my studios. I hope that all is well in your kitchens, and everybody else who is either working from home or maybe self-isolating or is in lockdown or is just taking a bit of time out, just a moment for today. It's really nice to have the pleasure of your company, and thank you for all the lovely comments. Now, before I go, I do have some questions here which I will get through very quickly. Question here, my teapot. Okay, so that was well spotted. This is another lovely Great British brand. Look, how cool is that? I think it looks like reminds me of Saturn, or some sort of beautiful night sky. This is from Denby, and Denby is a traditional British pottery. Love Denby. And we do have a Liz Loves with Denby, 10% off everything on their website. And yeah, if you're going to make yourself a beautiful brew, let's brew it in a beautiful pot. That's my rationale. Anyway, so yeah, wouldn't that be great actually? Look, you could give your tea and your teapot and a lovely candle. This one actually works quite well. Tropical Escape. Those colours work quite well together, don't they? Anyway, I have brewed it in my lovely Denby teapot, and I have poured it in my lovely Denby mug. So there you go. I think this is called Natural Canvas, this design. I rather like it. Do you see? It's almost like a Fair Isle print that they've put on it looks like sort of knitwear, doesn't it? Stitching. Anyway, that's my tea mug. A couple of other questions here. Hi Liz, do you have any tips or favourite recipes for using beetroot? My beetroot recipes are really quite simple. I like a bit of baked beetroot, a bit of a tongue twister, and I like roasting beetroot. I just literally smother it in olive oil, bit of sea salt, and pop it in the oven, and I roast it just like you'd roast potatoes. And I think that the skins crisp up. It's absolutely delicious. If you haven't tried roasting beetroot, it's really good. You can serve it hot as just a veggie side dish, or you can then just make them and then slice them up, have them cold roast beetroot in salads is also really good. And of course, beetroot juice. Love a bit of beetroot juice. But you do have to warn people if you're serving lots of beetroot or you're drinking lots of beetroot juice, because the next time you pop to the loo, you might get a bit of a surprise. I remember my first time I gave my little boy beetroot juice, and he was very disturbed. It's not blood, it is beetroot juice. Okay, so don't worry if things change colour. Another question here. This is on the subject of HRT. Are you still using Lenzetto? And if so, do you mind me asking how much you use? Yes, I have used the Lenzetto. Lenzetto is the newest form of transdermal estrogen, and it's the spray. Comes in a little pump, and it's an alternative to gels and patches. It's still using the plant-based estradiol, so it's the body identical natural estrogen, natural form of estrogen. It's exactly the same as we have in our bodies. It's not synthetic, and yeah, it's body identical or bioidentical, however you like to call it, but it's regulated. This is the key word when getting your HRT. Make sure it's regulated. You do not want unregulated compounded hormones that you really don't know quite what you're using, or where the randomized controlled trials are to show that they're safe and protective against things like uterine cancer, particularly if you're using progesterone. So yes, regulated. Lenzetto is the latest transdermal regulated. I do like it. It's the benefits I find are because it's a spray, it's quite quick. So it's a bit like that spray on glow. It's just like, that's it. So you don't put it on your face, you put it on your thighs. I use 3 sprays But that's me personally. That's not medical advice. That's just what I've been advised to use. We all absorb estrogen at different rates. So some people will need more, some people will need less, depending on their symptoms, depending on your estrogen levels, and depending on how well your body absorbs it. Some women don't actually absorb estrogen very well through the skin at all, in which case the tablets are better. They go through the liver, so you can get issues with clotting factors, which is why if you are prone to migraine, or you have high blood pressure or a history of DVT, thrombosis, then your GP should be prescribing you transdermal estrogen instead of the tablets, because they are not contraindicated for those conditions, despite what it says on the leaflet. And that's because the leaflet is incorrect. That is yet another thing that we are battling. But lots more information, of course. You can head to Earle Wellbeing. There's a whole section on healthy menopause. I've got my download, which is called The Truth About HRT. I know these questions come up again and again and again. And I would just say to anybody who's curious about HRT or has questions, please download that little e-guide, The Truth About HRT, because there's so much information in there. And of course, there's the menopausedoctor.co.uk, really good website for evidence-based information. What are your thoughts on collagen? Yeah, collagen's an interesting one. I mean, collagen, obviously we need collagen. Collagen is what keeps our skin really springy. My skin is better than ever thanks to estrogen, because estrogen is creating collagen. So one of the reasons why you can tell, the women very often who are on HRT is because their skin is kind of plumper and a bit more springy and spongy and a bit more glowy, because they have more collagen and elastin, because they are creating it with estrogen. I think the jury is out as to whether taking collagen gives you actually more collagen. Bear in mind that anything that you are taking gets broken down into its component parts. So if you're taking a collagen supplement, it doesn't stay as collagen in the body. It gets broken down into the different amino acids and then used by the body. So I guess you could argue, well, you're getting, all the amino acids that you need to make collagen. It'll then reform in the body, yes. But you can also get them from other things, from eating lots of protein in your diet, for example. There have been a limited number of trials, mostly funded by the makers of the collagen supplements. So I think there is some evidence to show that they're useful. Are they worth the high price tag? I'm not convinced. I am actually doing some research at the moment into all of the different collagens that are around. So watch this space for a bit more on that. Oh my goodness, somebody's got eagle eyes. Very eagle eyes. I don't know whether to share this or not. Says, can I spy the new issue behind you on the shelf, Liz? You might well be able to, yes. But I'm not allowed to share it yet because it has literally, we just had the first copy through from the printer. So very exciting. I do hope you are subscribed, because don't forget, alas, the magazine is not available in any shop now. You have to subscribe to get it. And we've got some really lovely subscriber offers. We've got a great offer with a great plumping lip cream, which I really love, from a company called Veneffect. It's worth £68. I didn't check the website today to see whether there are any left, because it was going really, really fast. But do check out the subscription site on lizarwellbeing.com if you fancy grabbing one of the last of those, if it's still available, fingers crossed. Here we go. Last question about HRT and estrogen. You have to download my e-guide. It's all in there, okay? And it says, I am wondering if I can ask a question about estrogel. How many pumps can you use? I know Liz has said before she uses 5. Sometimes that's from Lynn on Facebook. Well, you need to use what's right for you. So this needs to be a discussion between you and your GP or your menopause specialist. Having said that, estrogen is something that doesn't accumulate. It's a bit like the contraceptive pill, which of course is synthetic and actually higher levels usually. You need to take it every day, because if you stop taking it, it's out of your system, just like you'd need to take the contraceptive pill every day, otherwise you're not protected. The same is true with estrogen. So it's virtually impossible to overdose on it, because it just disappears the next day. And in fact, I recorded a podcast with Dr. Rebecca Lewis, who is a menopause specialist, on this very subject. And I said to her, how many pumps can you have? And she said, well, obviously you only want to have what you need. For me, my needs have gone up in recent years, and yes, I am using 5 or 6 pumps of the estrogel every night. But, maybe I'm somebody who doesn't absorb it as well as somebody else. So, that's for me, that's my own personal use of it. So I did say to Dr. Lewis, okay, so what happens if I get a whole pump of estrogel and I rub the whole lot on, what will happen? And she said, well, your boobs might grow a bit. You might feel a bit kind of premenstrual, but it will be gone out of your system the next day. So, so I think it's up to you. You have to really go by your symptoms and by what your GP says or your menopause specialist is telling you. But estrogen is something that we naturally have in the body. It's not going to store itself up somehow. Which is why it's a very safe thing to take. And if anybody wants to know more about estrogen, there's a brilliant book which you can get from booksellers called Estrogen Matters. It's written by a top professor in America called Professor Avram Blooming, and he's a breast cancer oncologist, and he is absolutely passionate about talking about the safety of estrogen, and particularly for menopausal women, and the benefits of it, and how the studies, the 18-year-old study now was so misreported in relation to breast cancer risks. And interestingly, both his wife and his daughter have had breast cancer, and both of them are on HRT, and he is very supportive of that. But if you really want a deep dive into the world of estrogen, then please take a look at that. It's called Estrogen Matters, and you can get it from booksellers, and it is a very, very good book. I know that a lot of medics are using it. Okay, very other quick question, last one before I go, and this is about eye bags. I've tried face massaging, rollers, jade stone, body brushing, still no luck. Yeah, eye bags, really tricky. I use lots of concealer, I have to say. I think lymphatic drainage massage is obviously really good, and this is where you follow the lymphatic points to drain here. Sleeping on your back so that and slightly raised with your head so that overnight, so that the fluid is draining, making sure that you're drinking lots of water, keep your water intake high so you're not dehydrated, keeping your lymphatics going. But some people are genetically susceptible, unfortunately. So but I think the jade rollers are very good. I think the facial massage is all very good too. And we do have a little piece online about eye bags and about dark shadows and dark circles, so do please look that up on lizearlewellbeing.com. That is just about it for today. So just to recap, we've got everything we've talked about today. I think we had Liz Love's discounts on, which was really good. The amazing 25% discount on the Amanda Harrington products, the lovely glowy ones. And I can see even in my little phones here that I'm beginning to look quite glowy. That is 25% off her single products, okay? But that ends at midnight on Friday, and it's Liz Love's, all in capitals. Then we also heard from Chantal, whose House of Lila. Beautiful. I have to say, I wish you could smell this. Look at that, beautiful hand-painted candles with the delicious teas. And that's 15% off using Liz Love's. And that's an ongoing collaboration that we're going to be doing to help promote her lovely brand. Also, yes, I am wearing this Asquith top, which you spotted earlier. And again, of course, there is 15% off ongoing on Asquith. Again, just use Liz Love's on the Asquith website. I think this is called Conqueror Cami, this little strappy one. So I have to show off my bronzed shoulders now. I have to get a little off the shoulder number. It's a bit chilly for that, but anyway, maybe I'll put the fire on and show off my shoulders. And then we also had Denby, which is Liz Love's, 10%. And just to say another quick shout out to this amazing artist, Claire Robinson, who makes these beautiful cushions, because she's also given us 10% off. So I'm going to be talking about lots more things like this, because of course we're coming up to Christmas and gift giving time, and it's going to be lovely just to give special things that are handmade by special people that also give back to their communities. So that's going to be a real focus, but I'm not supposed to talk about Christmas just yet, because we are still in October, folks. Yes, lots of pumpkin recipes going on Liz Earle Wellbeing if you want to make pumpkin soup, pumpkin hummus, lots to do if you're going to be carving out pumpkins, want to reuse the inside of your pumpkins to make something delicious, then please head over to the website to get that. Don't forget, there is a new newsletter coming out on Friday. Make sure that you're subscribed to receive that. It's completely free and it's jam-packed with lots of great things. Amy and I are going to be talking about that later later, aren't we, Amy? We've got a Zoom call just to make sure that we can fill this week's newsletter with lots of exciting stuff for you. Anyway, thank you for joining us today. Thank you very much. I'll be back here live on Friday, same time, same place. Look forward to the pleasure of your company. Until then, go well. Bye-bye.